Welcome back to this channel. Today's episode is another workshop vlog, and today is t-shirt makeover day. I've got these three really cool t-shirts, but they are normal men's band shirts, and I want to try to make them into something a bit more stylish. As you can see, I've done it before, so I'll try to do it again and let's see if that works. Let's take a look at the t-shirts. So this is t-shirt number one. Well, the reason we are doing this is that Metallica are in Europe at the moment, and in less than 2 weeks' time I'm going to the concert in Frankfurt, so I have to be prepared. But not only Metallica, but also Metallica. So t-shirt number one is a rather plain black Metallica shirt. T-shirt number two, this is really cool, is a Metallica shirt. They are a Metallica tribute band from Germany, and they will play the Night Between concert together with Metallica. I can't wait. Check the design. I really love this. I already have this Metallica shirt, and it's got this print on the front and this large print on the back. So I couldn't do anything fancy with the back. This only has the print on the front and nothing on the back, so I'll try to get a bit more creative there. I really love this one as well. I just ordered it. This is another Metallica shirt. Metallica shirt. And check this out. It's got this amazing Screaming Suicide print on the front and a 72 Seasons print on the back. So I'm so in love with this t-shirt. Just, I don't wear it like that. I think for this one, which has the back print, I want to do something similar to the one that I'm wearing at the moment. But I think we'll start with the Metallica shirt. Amazing Metallica Master of Puppets print on the front. And what I'd like to do is, of course, get rid of the arms, maybe shorten it a bit. This is a men's size M. They only had size M and larger available at the concert. I'd like to have something like a Racerback and maybe even something crossover type of thing. Don't look at the dog hair. I'll get rid of that later. To get the shape right, I brought a shirt that fits and that I actually like. So I've got something to work with. And if you are trying to do something like that, I highly recommend you grab a t-shirt of yours that has the fit that you would like to achieve, so that you don't cut off too much, too little, and have some kind of shape that you can follow. So let's try this on so that we know in which direction we have to go. Give me a second. This is the shirt I'm using as a stencil kind of thing. All right, so here's the before shot. Very loose fit, bit too long if you ask me. I could wear this as a dress. Oh my goodness. I'm dressed again and we can go ahead. First, let's try to straighten this up as much as possible. And by the way, this is not a tutorial because I'm not an expert at this. If you're looking for a tutorial, look somewhere else. This is just having fun with a creative project. If your shirt, your band shirt, because even if it's not a tutorial, I presume you want to do something like this, otherwise you wouldn't watch this. If your shirt has seams on the sides, of course you can fold it at the seams, but this one doesn't have any seams. So straighten this up. And I think I want to get the length sorted first. A man's shirt in size L, as you've just seen, is more like a dress. So to get the length right, I'm using this as a stencil to check how long it has to be or how long I want it to be. Dog hair, everything's full of dog hair. So I want to get rid of these couple of centimeters at the bottom first. And then at the front, at the top, you can already see we have to go a bit lower with the arms, because that's where the armpits of the men's shirt are. And we can't go as deep here at the front, because then we would just cut off the design of the shirt. So yeah, we have to adapt this, but I'm sure it will work out. Let's get rid of the extra length at the bottom first. How do we do that? It's creepy because now we'll have to start with the scissors. If you actually have an iron to iron your clothes, now would be the time to do it. I don't have one. So I'm using this, what's it called, chalk type of thing. Much easier if you're not working with a black shirt. You can always cut off more later, but it's terribly hard to glue shit back on, or sew shit back on. So I highly recommend, first, don't cut too much. And as you can see, it's not quite straight here at the bottom, but I'm sure it will work out later. And this is not the final cut anyway, so I'm sure later it will end up more like here or so. So let's cut this off. I just want to secure it a little bit. And I'll just put in 2 pins at the sides. Can you see that? Yes, you can. Just to mark where I think the seam would be if there was a seam. There's not, so yeah, we don't have to worry about it. Take some sharp scissors and ready. Terribly hard to do this under a camera. Did I already say that this is not a tutorial? Really, I'm sure there are people who are much, much better at this and much more experienced as well, and who look better in front of a camera. Right, done. First cut sorted. I'll get rid of these. Now, let's check what we want to do with the top. With the next cuts, we always have to keep in mind that we'll do some kind of a seam. This is a seam. And that this will take up a couple of centimeters, millimeters from our shirt. So what do we want to do with the top? First, let's check how the print fits into the width of these straps. What's the English word for that? Träger. I think we need a bit more fabric here on the sides, because check this, can you see it? Yeah. On this side, it's check down here. This is where the A roughly ends, and we don't want the design to disappear on the edges. Same here. So this is the minimum that we need to make the design still look good. How do we go about it? I don't know. I think I'll cut the arms off first. They irritate me. Yeah, let's cut the arms off first. Or, no, I think I go exactly with this line and add a centimeter on each side for the seam. I think I'll just do it like that. Just mark it on one side. Visible? Yes, visible. And now I'll just move this whole thing further to the left to get a nice curve here. I think to get the right curve is the most important thing, actually. Yeah, that was the original line, that's the new line. And let's just mark this on the t-shirt right till the top and see what we've done. I think this doesn't look too bad. Let's compare it with the original. Yes, it is trial and error. If you're really, really insecure about this, just take another t-shirt first that you don't like anyway, so it doesn't matter if you ruin it. So that was the original line. And we've just pulled the whole thing to the side. But I guess this might be a bit too far out. So let's correct this. Keep in mind that we'll lose 1 centimeter on the side anyway. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. That looks good. What do we do about the neckline? I don't know yet, because I'm still very uncertain about the back. As I said, I want a proper Racerback for this one, because it does not have a print on the back. And I thought that it would be really cool to open the seams here at the top and like turn the whole back around. I love that. Let's check the back first before we go to the neckline. I'll just put a little marker here, right at the seam. Check with our original shirt again. This time we are looking at its back. Really, if you have any chance to iron your clothing, do it before you cut them. If you don't have an iron, just take your time to smooth everything out. This is not straight, but I think it's not me. But I think that's just the fabric, the garment itself. We'll just have to live with it. So we'll use that mark. If I do a racerback where the straps actually cross, we have to keep in mind that that takes away some of the length. So the whole thing, if you cross this, takes up the length, and the whole thing will move a bit further up. Ooh, this is a tough one. To get a proper racerback here, we have to take away pretty much the whole shirt. So we would start here, trying to follow the curve of the original shirt. That's correct. We are here. There are these curvy ruler things. I don't have one of them, so I have to do it this way. I think we can go a bit wider than the original. This is fine, I think. The whole thing will slide towards the neck later when we cross that, because it will put some tension on the fabric. I've got another idea now. Really, it's just trial and error. But if you don't try this type of stuff, you never know how it would have worked out. Okay, check this and check this against the original. This is much, much smaller, but I think if we open up these seams and cross this around later, it might just work out. Trial and error. A bit more maybe. I've got no idea what I'm doing here. Then the neck. For the very first draft, I would just see something. Yeah, I would just cut the original neck off. We can scoop this out further later, and I'm sure we will. But to start with, just get rid of the original neckline. And at the front, just do the same. For now, cut the ribbing off, and let's see what comes of it. Ready for the next cut? I'm not. Let's start here at the front. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. Have to start somewhere. I'm so nervous. I'm always nervous in front of the camera, even if you can't see me behind the camera. And I'm really nervous cutting one of my favorite shirts. Which brings up the question, why the fuck am I doing this? Ah, yeah, well, I can remember now, because there are concerts and I want to have a really cool t-shirt for them. I mean, other people get married and spend hours, days, and fortunes in their dresses. I just go to a concert and want a lovely t-shirt. The ribbing is off. Woo! It will look horrible now. Obviously, we can't just cut this one over here, because then we would cut the same at the front and the back. We can do this at the front, but we can't do it at the back, because the back goes in much further. Let's cut the arms off. I can't wait. So I'm cutting both layers with the line of the front. That was an arm. Bye-bye, arm. Now this is starting to look like something. Check the back. Now we obviously just cut the back layer, not the back and the front. Make sure that this is kind of a straight line. Not straight, but kind of straight. So the magic's always in getting the right curve. All right, done. Now we have to get the same shapes on the other side. And I think the best way to do it is to fold the shirt the other way. If you have seams on the sides, it's much easier now. If you don't, you have to match up the seams at the top. Don't worry about the neckline at the moment. And match up the bottom. That's why we mark them with the pins. I think this is really difficult, to be honest. Maybe it's the most difficult part. For me, at least. Just secure this. And once the seams are off, the fabric is quite delicate. And you have to make sure that you don't pull on it too much. Secure this. This is the middle of the front, or center, front center. And this is the center of the back. Let's try to match these. I'm not too worried about every millimeter here, but I am in general worried about the whole project. I'll just cut this arm off, it's annoying me, just along the original seam, just to get rid of the fabric. Trying to stay as close to the seam as possible, especially here because we didn't go far away from the seam there. So I don't want to cut off anything that I need later. There we go. It's taking shape. I don't know if you can see that it is taking shape, but it is. Smooth it out again. Trying to just align the different parts here. Basically fold the back into the front. That doesn't look too bad. I'm sure you've never folded a t-shirt like this. Nor have I, to be honest. Well, once before when I did this. All right. It all doesn't align 100%. Check that this is kind of straight. Okay. Now this is the back. This part on top. This is the front. And we'll start with the back. The most boring video ever done. Still not quite aligned. I'm going mad. We left enough room so we can correct it later if it looks really horrible. Now we'll cut only the back, not the front. Cut in too far, of course. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. That's the back done. Check this out. Super creepy. Now the same with the front. Trying to align these as much as possible. Use another pin. The sides are still pretty much aligned. It will get easier at some point, I'm absolutely sure about it. Check this out. We don't even have to use the chalk to mark it, we can just cut it like that. No risk, no fun, right? Done! Alright, so the rough shape of the t-shirt is sorted. And I think it's time to try it on and see if we fucked it up completely or if there's still hope. So sorry, Metallica, that I've ruined your t-shirt. What does it look like? Not too bad, I would say. Now, handling it now, you should be careful not to stretch it too much or anything, because the jersey material will just roll up. You can see that. So I would try to stretch or touch it as little as possible. So let's try this on. I have checked the mirror and I'm back. I like the neckline, and keep in mind that we will still lose a couple of centimeters here, so that will be fine. I like the sides as well. If you like that type of style, it's fine. But it's too wide here and therefore the shape just doesn't make much sense. It's too baggy and therefore I don't want to show it, but too revealing on the sides. And the back is not as I'd like it yet. But if we do a racerback here and actually cross this whole part over, then we will automatically lose some width here on the sides. So I think I'd like to try that. Ready? Let's go. I'll just get changed again. Let's check the top first. Okay. So what I was planning on doing and what I will do now, because I'm not happy with how this turned out, is I will cut the seams or open the seams. Check this. I think it's a really good quality because there is an additional fabric thingy down here, and we have to get rid of that now so that we can cross the whole back over to have a crisscross back type of thing. I've never done this before, so let's just try this. That should work well. And oh, how boring. Just open this up. If you don't have one of these, you can just use scissors. All right, it's coming apart nicely. Same on the other side. Or you could just cut this whole part off and sew it back together. That will also work, but I just want to try it like this and see what happens. Oh, it just takes forever. There we go. Now we have to open this up as well. No, I think I just cut that. Oh, I don't want to lose too much length of the straps because the print is so far, so high up. And I still have to have some room for a rather deep or deepish scooped neckline. There we go. Done, or rather undone. Clean this up and do the second side. I'm aware that a black t-shirt is not the best object to show all this, but I only have black t-shirts, and this is still not a tutorial. Don't know why anyone would watch it, to be honest. I just have fun doing it, so this could also be some ASMR style video, watching how someone opens up the seams of t-shirts. How great is that? Alright, well, in the end I just want to give you some inspiration, because I think there are lots of women or girls who would really love to have the cool t-shirts with the cool designs and cool prints, but they are only available as men's t-shirts. Highly discriminating. So either you buy the men's t-shirt and wear that and don't feel too great in it, or you don't buy a t-shirt at all, or you buy the boring ladies design. Yeah, so we have to do something about that. Okay. Straps are open. Clean up the mess. I hope that you can see this now. Here's the back. Here's the front. And now my idea was to take the back, turn it around. You can't just turn it around once because the fabric is different on the inside and the outside. Turn it around twice. And then you are pretty much just where you started. And sew them back together like this. And the back should look like this. Just pin these together and bloody try it on again. I think this doesn't have to be too accurate. Just get 2 pins in. Or maybe 3 pins. Okay. So, t-shirt on the front. T-shirt on the back. That was roughly what I had in mind. Let's see what that looks like when I wear it. Check this out. I'm quite happy with it. The neckline came up higher now because the seams went back due to the crossover at the back, but the whole side went back as well, so it's not as weirdly shaped here anymore. We'll cut this a bit deeper, and I think some fabric here on the sides has to be cut off as well. It's really rolled in already. I'm not sure about that yet. And check the back. Don't know if you can see it properly. It's crossing over nicely, and due to the crossover, this like folds in on itself and comes further down, and I really like that. So I won't change anything there, just the neckline. And the length, I think maybe 2 centimeters have to come off. I'm not quite sure. The sides are nice. I really like the shape here, the curve. So yes, we are ready to sew this whole thing back together again. Bam. Okay, let's continue. I think the worst part is done. I had to think about how to continue. because we can't just sew the top back together. We have to do the seams first. But before we do the seams, I wanted to take a bit off here at the front. You can see that it's already rolling up a lot. So we just have to do like one more cut and then we can sew it together. I'm a bit lost now myself. And we wanted to change the neckline a little bit. Just get these lined up, get the front line up. I so love this design. I did already mention that it would be a good idea to iron this, did I? Yeah, that's a good idea to iron it. You can probably see that it's not 100% straight anyway, but I can assure you that no one would notice that, or no one will notice that once the whole thing is done. Okay, so let's just pretend that this is all lined up nicely, and we'll just cut a little bit off here. And I still find this absolutely creepy. Trial and error. Okay. Let's do the neckline at the front. I want this to go down as far as possible. Oh no, I've taken off something here, but I did not take it off at the back, so we have to correct that as well. Do that later. Do the front first. When you're cutting the neckline, make sure that this is really quite straight and not too V-like, because otherwise you get a V shape. If you want a V shape, then that's fine. If not, then just make sure that your curve is a bit wider. So now don't cut like this, but rather like this if you want a scoop neck type of thing and not a V-neck. This looks good. I would like to have it a bit deeper still. But I think it looks too strange if the design, if the print doesn't have the room to breathe next to the seam, and we will need 1 centimeter for the seam, so I will not cut any more here. But we have to repair the back now. Front, back. Just notice how deep this scoop of the arms is. That's men's shirts for you, right? Just align these as much as possible. I was quite happy with the back, so we won't change anything there. But since I've cut a bit off there, this is now much wider. And now just take a bit off both sides. Doesn't matter what you do there, because with the crossover you won't notice anything. I can assure you that. Check if that's got the same size now. Yeah, that's fine. And the back was alright as it is, so we don't change anything there. So this is ready to go, and we'll do the bottom later. Now we'll just get the seams of all of this and this and this done. Then we can reconnect the straps at the top, and then we'll deal with the bottom. Let's go. I've got the sewing machine ready. There we go. And we will start, holding the phone in my hand now, we will start with the arms. So we'll sew from the front, along the armpit, right to the back. You know what I mean. And how do we do that? We do some, I think it's called stay stitching. So about 1 centimeter away from the edge, we do just the very ordinary stitch with the very standard settings. And that helps us to get this curve, this round shape done without the material, without the fabric rolling up. So let's just do that. We don't need any preparation for this, and it will be invisible later. Up, down, up, down. I've always wondered who actually came up with the idea. Is this so complicated? Ah, yeah. By the way, I would use a jersey needle, something for stretchy material. Is this right? Don't know if you can see anything. Don't know if you want to see anything. Come on. Yes. Everything's in place. Here's the shoulder. A shoulder. We leave that alone for now and just along the armpit. Let's go. About 1 centimeter from the edge. If your machine has marks like mine, just start like this. Foot down and pedal. Get the pedal ready. Go, go, go. Going well, going very well. Right, you don't even have to lock this seam. So just trying to show you. That's it. And now we'll do the same on the other side. You don't need to see this again. Okay, it had to happen at some point. I did not switch on the audio. So I've already done this seam, but I'll explain again how I've done it. We put in the stay stitching, and I did it on the arms, both arms, and also on the back, which is finished now, and on the front. There you go, 1 centimeter from the edge. We sewed in some dog hair, that's great. And what we'll do now is we'll fold this over at the seam. Can you see anything? No, you can't. Fold it over like this and secure it with some pins, and then add a zigzag stitch. You can use the plain stitch as well, but this way it stays a bit more elastic, which I prefer, and I think it looks quite cool on my Metallica shirt. Can already see how the stay stitching just holds the whole thing in place. That's what it's good for. Now fold. That's really not that tough because the material wants to, it feels like it wants to fold in on itself. You don't have to do much. Guess you can't see this. I just put in the pins. There's a weird background noise. That's just a sewing machine in standby. This is meditation for me. And the thing is, I haven't sewed anything in years. I actually wanted to sell the sewing machine because I thought I wouldn't use it anymore anyway, because I've got so much other stuff to do and so many other things that I also like to do. I just get that up a little bit. Better. But I thought if I sell it, then one day I will just kick myself, because there will be something that I will certainly, some project that will jump to my mind where I want to sew something and will need the machine. And that project came a couple of weeks ago when I did the t-shirt I'm wearing today. That was just so much fun. I enjoyed it so much. That was the first time in a long time that I did something creative just for myself, not for someone else, not for any business purposes. And yeah, it actually gave me the confidence to do this again, to really buy pretty band shirts, just to cut them, ruin them, and sew them back together again. I think that's what creativity, that's what it should feel like, I think. I think far too often we just put ourselves under pressure. And I thought, okay, if I ruin this shirt now, then I just go to another concert of them and I've got the perfect excuse to buy another shirt. Support your local Metallica tribute band. But it worked out really well. and yeah, I enjoyed it. And I hope that this video gives you the ideas and most of all the confidence to try something similar yourself. What I'm doing here might not be exactly your style, but there's so much you can do and can try out, and just try it. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You ruin a t-shirt, boo-hoo. Who cares? All right, that's done. That's what I'm working with, the normal zigzag stitch, and I'm using these settings. I think you can see better if I put that here. Whoops. I did the stay stitching 1 centimeter away from the edge, so we've got 1 centimeter of fabric at the back now. And to really cover that with the next stitches, open this, I don't go to the full centimeter here, but try to align this with the edge of the foot. Mesmerizing, isn't it? This is the first step in the whole process where I actually take care to get a straight line, work neat and tidy. I haven't shown it now, but when you look at it again, it looks all good. So don't push and pull on the fabric. Just let the machine do its job and make sure everything goes in smoothly and stays in place, but don't push or pull. That's the neckline done. You didn't see the first one because I forgot to switch on the audio. Let's check this, see if you like it. There you go. As I said, I like this optic with the zigzag. And if you prefer something else, you can use something else. Now it's the same with the arms. And then that's done, and we can reconnect the shoulders. Holy crap, look at this mass of dog hair. So this was the back, which went without the audio. And let's just keep folding and pinning. And now check how narrow the shoulder straps have become. It's just 1 centimeter on each side, but that really makes a difference. I'm trying not to always set one after the other, but go a bit further, pin one there just to secure the fabric and to prevent myself from pulling it in any direction, especially with this rather long seam here for the arms. It's terribly long, isn't it? So we'll go back later and put in more pins in between the ones I'm doing now. It's not very straight, is it? But the good thing is with the sewing machine, it will always straighten up your mistakes. So yeah, really this is the first step where you have to take care that everything is neat and tidy. Everything before is just, come on. Doesn't matter if it's a millimeter more or less. If you start a project like this with a perfectionist attitude, then I guess you will never start it and never finish it. Because how can you be perfect or attempt to be perfect at something you've never done before? It just isn't possible. Someone who is sewing every day or very, very often will be able to do this so much better than I can. But yeah, this is just my second sewing project in a long, long while. It's more practice than anything perfect. And if I want to get it done perfectly, I just won't do it. So I rather practice now with t-shirts that I can rebuy if I fuck it up. And then maybe I have the confidence to even do this with a t-shirt I'll buy at the concert in Frankfurt. Because that would be something really special. And I wouldn't want to fuck that up. I don't want to fuck these up either, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if I did. You know what I mean. Half the amount of pins would probably be enough. Just saying. Check how neat these curves have become. But especially when the curve is a bit, more, how do you say it, narrow, you have to make sure that you really fold on the stay stitching and follow the curve. It's more feeling than seeing, really. That's black on black. I don't see much, to be honest. I think it's probably even more visible on the camera than here in real life, because the iPhone doesn't want to show you a black t-shirt. So, oh, check this out. This is looking good. I'll just do the second side straight away, and we can sew it in one go, more or less. And then it's just reconnecting the shoulders and doing something to the bottom. I'm not sure about the bottom yet. The t-shirt I'm wearing today, I shaped the bottom into a kind of round at the front and at the back. So it's longer on the front and on the back, and it's got this like U-shape type of thing, whatever you want to call it. I really like that, but just now I'm not quite sure if I want to do the same thing again. Could just do the bottom straight, or add, or what do you call it? Like when there's where you have the seam, usually if you have a seam, this shirt doesn't, and there is like a cut. Could do something like that, though I don't really want to cut it. I would, if it had seams, I would open the seams, but since it doesn't have seams on the sides, I actually don't want to cut it there. Oh, bloody hell. When you film this stuff, you actually notice for the first time how long it takes. This little piece of nothing is a 9-minute video already. I mean, 9 minutes? What the fuck? If you like, you can leave a comment what one of your hobbies is where you already thought about giving away your equipment, selling it, and you're actually glad that you kept it. For me, the sewing machine is definitely one of them, but I'm sure if I think a bit more, I could think of more hobbies like these, or more pieces of equipment like these. I think everyone who has more than one hobby knows this feeling that you might just have to give something away to focus on your main hobby or your whatever. And I'm sure that's not wrong, certainly not. But then on the other hand, I think it's good to accept that you just have more than one hobby, that you have a multitude of interests. I call that multi-creativity, actually. Yes, half the amount of pins would be enough. And I think having several creative hobbies, especially creative hobbies, but also other hobbies, sports or whatever, I think they can also help each other, because doing the one thing, you get ideas for the other things. You can't imagine how much I'd love to just paint a t-shirt design like this right now. It inspires me. So there's nothing wrong with having several interests. Nearly done. All right. Okay, so that's the 2 arms done. Can't find the beginning and the end. That's arm number 1. That's arm number 2. And now I'll switch the camera off and just sew this like before with the zigzag stitch and these settings. Let's go. All right, that's done. Here's the front and the arms, and somewhere there's the back. Now what we have to do, we want to reconnect the back and the front, but we want to change them around. So let's see if we can do it with this camera, probably not. And now instead of sewing them together like this, we turn this whole thing around once. Now that's the inside. Twice. That's the outside again. This might not look too good. I maybe should have done something else there. Check if the other side looks better. Once the dog hair is off. Yeah, this looks cleaner, so we'll turn it in this direction. Like this. And then sew these together. How do we do that? I think we sew them together from the inside. Well, left side on left side. This is tricky. I so wish I had an overlock sewing machine. Make sure that these edges are aligned, otherwise it will look strange later. Okay, that's number one. Oh, that's not looking too bad. And this is number two. So we put the two insides on each other. Then we put the two outsides on each other. Be very careful that we don't get too confused. Yeah, I think we have to align them a bit more. Right, 1 and 2. There we go. And just redo the other one. One for good luck. I feel like I'm going insane here at this very moment. All right. Now I will just use the normal, what do you call it, straight stitch here, about 1 centimeter away from the edge, and then I'll turn it around and stitch each of these to their respective sides. Let's go and see if that is any good. Yeah, leave it like that, that's fine. It doesn't really want to straighten. Doesn't matter, let's see how it goes. No, just I've locked it, but I'll just go forward and back just to make sure it's really, really locked. Right, let's just do the other side. That's done. And now I will just open this up, fold it to the left and right, and then just sew here and here, left and right of this thing. I'll be back in a second. All right, it's done. I decided to just do the stay stitching 2 centimeters away from the edge. Then I did the first round of stitches, zigzag stitches here, and then the second one just over that to give it a bit more weight at the bottom. I ran out of thread in the middle, of course, and something went wrong with the tension. So this is too tight, you can see this. Might be that I have to redo it, but for now it's all right, and we are ready to try this on. Hope you're as curious as I am to see what it looks like. There you can see that there's a problem with the tension. It's not very even, but it's very straight. Let's try this on. Here it is. So what do you say? Check how high the neckline came up and check how narrow it looks. I haven't taken away any of its width. That's still the original men's size M width. It's not that wide. So the sides, remember they were very, I don't know, low, wide, in the first draft before we crossed the shoulders. And here are the shoulders. I'm standing here with the light bulbs just right in front of my face. Give me a second. Check the shoulders. I really like this. It might need some stitches to secure it in this position, but I would prefer to just leave it like that. Then it can kind of flow freely. I don't know. And check the shoulders where I struggled a bit with the sewing. I think that worked out quite well as well. So yeah, here we go. That's the new Metallica t-shirt. And I think I'm ready for the concert. Now, the problem is just that we still have this wonderful Metallica Screaming Suicide shirt with the print on the back and the black shirt. So, yeah, I guess this was just the first episode of the t-shirt makeover day. And I'll be back again, like tomorrow also, because in less than 2 weeks I need 3 t-shirts for 3 concert nights. What can you do? I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it inspires you to do something with your favorite band t-shirt that you just don't wear because it's a t-shirt. And yeah, maybe see you next time. Thank you.